Morning, everyone. Myself, Ashish Zada, Sharad Institute of Technology, College of Engineering. I'm working as an assistant professor. And today's chapter is specification. It is most important chapter in estimating and costing. Specification specifies or describes the nature and the class of the work, materials to be used in the work, workmanship, etc. And it is very important for execution of the work. The cost of a work depends much on the specifications. Specification should be clear and there should not be any ambiguity anywhere. From the study of specification, one can easily understand the nature of work and what the work shall be. The drawings of building or structure show the arrangement of the rooms and various parts and the dimensions like length, breadth, and height, with very briefly descriptions of different parts. Drawings do not furnish the details of different items of work, the quality and quantity of material, proportion or mortar and workmanship which are described in specifications. Thus, the combination of drawing and specification define completely the structure, drawings, and specification from the important parts of contract document. The definition of specification is nothing but the specification describes the nature and the class of the work material to be used in the work, workmanship, etc. And very important for execution of the work. The cost of a work depends much on the specification. The during writing specification attempts should be made express all the requirement of the work clearly and in a concise form, avoiding repetitions. As far as the clauses of the specification should be arranged in the same order in which the work will be carried out. The specifications are written in a language so that they indicate what the work should be and work shall be or should be are used. We should have to know the purpose of the specification. First of all, the cost of unit quantity of work is governed by its specification. Specification of a work is required to describe the quantity and quality of different material required for a construction work and is one of the essential contract documents. This also specifies the workmanship and the method of doing the work. Thus, the specification of a work serves as a guide to supervising staff of a contractor as well as to the owner to execute the work to their satisfaction. Drawing plus specifications. A work is carried out according to its specification and the contractor is paid for the same. Any change, the specification changes the tendered rate. As the rate of work is based on the specification, a contractor can calculate the rates of various items of works in tender with procurement rates of material and labor. Thus, the tender rate without specification of work is baseless, incomplete, and invalid. Specification is necessary to specify the equipment, tools, and plants to be engaged for a work and thus enables to procure them beforehand. The necessity of specification is to verify and check the strength of material for work involved in a project. What are the objectives of the specifications? Expressing the quality of construction material or strength of a construction work. Second one, that is expressing the ratio of component used in a concrete or mortar. For example, just we have to use M20 grade concrete, and for that purpose, the ratio of concrete, it means that sand, aggregate, and cement, that is 1:1.5:3, which includes 1 for cement, 1.5 for sand, and 3 stands for aggregate. This is the ratio of a concrete. And another one thing, that for this brick mortar or mortar, cement and sand 1:6. In that, 1 stands for cement and 6 stands for sand. Just like as these specification give the idea to the owner as well as the contractor what is the ratio has to be used for the construction. Expressing third one, that is expressing the type of material such as a timber type or types of a brick, etc. Whenever we are going to be construct any building or a construction site, at that time which kind of material, for example, just I want to use a door frame which is made up of a timber, then the type of timber we should have to be defined in the specification. That is, maybe it is a thick wood or another jungly wood, maybe like that, or types of a bricks. It specifies the size of the brick as well as the type of a brick. It means that that bricks is made up of a red clay brick, the brick which is made up of a fly ash bricks, etc., etc. Expressing the color of constructional material. The specification gives the which kind of color is used, has to be used in a construction. Fifth one, that is listing the conditions of the contract. Sixth one, evaluating the cost likely to be expended over the constructional work. Seventh one, that is explaining the methodology for the conducting constructional work, explaining the machinery and tools used in the construction. In the specification, we have to be mentioned which method we are going to be used for the constructional work. For example, in RCC, which grade of cement concrete we are going to be used, then type of steel or the company name of that steel, we should have to specify the tensile strength of the steel, etc., etc. Then principles of a writing specification. First one, that is description of material. A complete description of a constructional material must be included. It means what? The material, whatever we are going to be used in a construction site, at that time we must write all the details of that material. Means what? That we are going to be use a brick in the construction. At that time we have to specifies the size of that particular brick, then water absorption of that brick, then compaction test or compressive strength of that brick. We should know specified properties of that particular material in the description of that constructional material. Then type of material and size must be described completely for this purpose. Despite the ratio of each component in concrete or mortar, and methodology of mixing must also be described minutely. The methodology of mixing, it means what? Whenever we are going to cast any kind of a concrete, at that time, which method? It means by hand mixing or by ready mix concrete or by machine or mixer. We are going to be mix the concrete. We should have to be mentioned in the specification. If a material requires certain treatment, then it should also be written in the specifications. Then workmanship. Workmanship is the most of the important part of the specification. We must have to write the workmanship, whatever we are going to be do, and which way we are going to complete that construction site, and which method is to be used for the workmanship, we have to mention in the specification. Next one, that is tools and plants. Tools and plants must also be described during the writing specification in the order they can organize before commencing the constructional project. It is also imperative to describe that whether tools and plants will be either be organized by the contractor or by the concerned department of a government. Then the clause of specification. It must be endeavored to keep the organization of conditions of work as per organization of real constructional work. All these conditions must be practically possible. Clauses of specification must neither confer each other not repeated. Then we come to specifications and the types of specification. The specification depend upon the nature of work and the purpose of which the work is required, strength of material, availability of material, quality of material, etc. Specifications are two types. That is first one, that is general specification or brief specification, and second one is the detailed specification. General specification. The general specification gives the nature and the class of work and material in the general terms to be used in the various part of the work, from the foundation to the superstructure. It is a short description of different parts of the work, specify material proportions, quality, etc. General specification give a general idea of a whole work or structure and are useful for preparing the estimate. For general idea, the general specification of different class of a building are we can discuss. There, these will be the course vary according to necessity and the type of work. Then second one, that is detailed specification. The detailed specification is detailed description and express the requirement in detail. The detailed specification of an the item of work specifies the quantity, quality of material and the proportion of a mortar, workmanship, the method of preparation and execution, and the method of measurement. The detailed specification of a different item of work are prepared. Detailed specifications are written to express the requirements clearly in a concise form, avoiding repetition and ambiguity. The detailed specifications are arranged as far as possible in the same sequence of order as the work is carried out. The detailed specification, if prepared properly, are very helpful to execution of work. The detailed specification form an important part of a contract. Every engineering department prepare a detailed specification of various items of work and get them printed in book form under the name detailed specification. When the work or the structure or a project to, is taken up, instead of writing detailed specification every time, the detailed specifications we can refer